Important that we get to the basket. We need to get in the lane, whether it's through the post or through the drive. And I thought we were pretty good at getting to the basket in the first half. And it was there in the second half, and then we started to settle. And we didn't come out with 5 guys having the needed energy defensively that we needed. And we let Jackson get loose after doing a very good job on him in the first half. And then we started settling for jumpers. And they had sagged their defense, I think, some. But that just meant that we needed to reverse it a little bit more. But we made some changes. We changed our defensive coverages. And when we cut it to 8, I believe, we were playing solid, but our crowd went to great. And our crowd was exactly what we've become accustomed to them being. We got down, and I know the last couple of years we haven't been in many of those situations as much at home, but we got down and our crowd got us back. And I thought that was the absolute turning point in the game because our guys fed off of that. We had a lot of different lineups out there. And it was just a matter of changing the momentum of the game. And the crowd did a great job of that in helping us.
Ken, then you were down 15 at Penn State, you were down 10, come back and win both those games. What does it just mean to your program?
Well, to the program's had a lot of big wins. To the team, it means a great deal. And this is a high-level winning program long before I came and long after I'm here. And to me, the team needs this. I mean, we've had a long week and from Michigan State to Penn State, but we got a lot better. And we got a lot better the last couple days. And it's just amazing what happens when some real confidence starts to come. And it's still a fight to get them to believe that. That's because even when we got down 10, you know, they're still not. They still don't quite understand. Sometimes kids get down like that when they're not used to it. And 15 looks like 25 or 10 looks like 20. It's not true. You know, there's a lot of possessions in the game. And I had great confidence in them, and I hope they looked back and saw that I, as a coach and as a coaching staff, we felt that it was just a matter of us stemming the tide. But you got to make some moves in the game, see what happens. You know, some work, some don't. And bottom line is we persevered.
Terry.
Yogi misses his first 7 threes, but as he's shooting the 8, is there any doubt in your mind that he's going to make it?
I don't remember that one. I know that he was unguardable getting to the basket. That's the biggest difference there. And so the biggest thing, he's a big game player. I mean, the last time he didn't win a championship was his sophomore year, and I think he probably won his conference. He finished as a finalist, right? You know, for the championship at Park Tudor. So he knows how to win. And he's getting better, and I thought he had some carryover on some of the stuff that we wanted to do in this game, because what we try to keep getting these guys to understand is we're a concept team, but we're also very game plan specific. So there's a lot of things that you want to have down that are your concepts, offensively and defensively. But today it was game plan specific, and some things for him offensively were game plan specific. And he transferred those skills right to the court today after a couple of days, and that's what makes us different. You know, when he's attacking and there's no predetermination, when he's not settling, he's fantastic, and he made a big difference for us tonight.
Rick?
Stan played a lot of minutes. He played a lot of minutes
in
crunch time, and he looked like he was attacking the rim with a lot of confidence.
Absolutely, he's natural at that. You know, he's got a gift of that, and he's gotten better with his right hand. And that's been a big deal. A lot of improvement there. I mean, if you could have seen him at the beginning, I mean, he didn't trust his right hand at all because it wasn't good enough. You know, now it's a lot better, and it's going to get better. But he's got a lot of fight in him. I thought there was a change when we put him in, and put him on Jackson. And then we didn't get any momentum because we kept shooting jump shots. And we made a couple more substitutions, changed our defense, and we took off. So he was a big part of all of that, though.
Justin.
How different was this game just in terms of speed, tempo, or just overall dynamics from games you had against them in the past, and how much does that help to let you guys get back in?
Well, I think when you look at the numbers going into it, there's not a lot of different on their time of possession per se. You know, it's still around 21, 22 seconds, but they're so capable. There's nobody on the court. You have to have some risk reward, and that's what we did when we got down 10. We had to play the risk reward game a little bit with some defense. And fortunately, we were rewarded, you know. And then there's times, I mean, you can't. It's very hard to double them because they take conventional defense, help and recover, post doubling, all those things, to another level. When you do it, they expose you. And if you look at late in the game, and this was one of the biggest things that we showed the team leading up to this game, especially last night, how close some teams have been to them, and then they give in. They don't get the switch that they want. I made a substitution late because we wanted to switch all 5 with no problem, and they just went right inside to Frank Kaminsky, and it hurt us. But the premise was going to be we needed to switch everything, and Austin was playing pretty well with that and go offense-defense with Noah. And after that play, I said, okay, Noah, I mean, you really got to bear down. You got to switch, and if they try to ISO you can't leave your feet. And they're good. I mean, they force you to change constantly. There's no, unless you are just stellar and having a great night, I don't think you can beat them one way. I don't think you can beat them one way on offense, and you certainly can't beat them one way on defense. So somebody might, but nobody has. We had to mix it up. And I think that's what makes them good, really good.
Pete?
Tom, your ability to improve your turnovers in the last 4 games has been dramatic. You went from 23 in Illinois to 9 tonight. Is that indicative of that improvement you're talking about?
Yeah, they don't want to turn it over in practice. We've changed that. We've changed those consequences a little bit. But
Can you share those comments?
no, because the moment we'll take it to another level. No, it's just there was the elephant in the room was visible for everybody. We were doing pretty good in so many areas, nationally even. I mean, look at how much our shooting had improved over the last few weeks. But the turnovers were hurting us, and we can't play through those. We're not good enough yet, and we'll get there. But we're still not going to be good enough to play through. I mean, look at this. We turned it only over 9 times, and they got 17 points. They had 11 points off 5 turnovers. Their numbers, and they're not just doing it to us. They do an unbelievable job of turning live ball turnovers into baskets. And it's hard to beat that. I mean, they had 12 layups in the first half. We had 14. And they had 11 points off those turnovers. And those are the reasons they capitalized so well. So the bottom line for us is we've just got to continue to understand that. We've moved some people around. We've tweaked some sets. We've added some things. We've deleted some things because this team is just not able to maybe have that freedom at times, certain guys yet. So we had to make some of those adjustments. We just keep doing that. But it's getting better, and that's why we won 2 in a row.
Okay.
You spoke about confidence, and now we're coming off 2 Big Ten wins. How do you feel like that's going to transition into the rest of the season?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I would hope it helps. I mean, it gives you a better understanding, but we've got to come back, and if we have any different level of feel for Northwestern, they just beat Illinois. I mean, there's any night, okay, not on any given night, but any night you go into any game, anybody can win these games. Home, road, it doesn't make a difference. I mean, the league is that good, and that's why it's so strong. And we've got to keep building the confidence of why we're being successful. But we're not going to sit on this tape, or sit and watch this tape and have a pizza party and then get some ice cream and say, wow, we couldn't have played any better. We're not. I mean, I'm not upset about it. I think we got a lot of potential, you know, but you coach this game expecting to win it. I thought I don't think we get this where we get it without how great our crowd was tonight. And I've tried to praise the crowd since I've been here. I never take them for granted. And the crowd's energy tonight was the best it has been all year. Not just opening bell and not just during I'm talking about when we got down. Because it won't be the last time that this team gets down. And we've got to be able to pull through, and the crowd should feel great about what they did tonight.
Jeff?
Tom, what does this say about kind of how far you guys have come in the last few weeks? Not only just the win, but the way you played against the top 5 team.
They're just getting better. I mean, I'm not ready to quantify that and say, you know, something miraculous has happened. It hasn't. There's a lot of room for improvement. When you're with them every day, you're focused on the improvement more than you're focused on the successes. And I think this is great. The other day really helped change us because 2 things happened that hadn't happened. We made a big comeback, okay? You know, 15 points down. We hadn't done that, okay? And then we were phenomenal. We scored 10 out of, I think we executed on 10 of our last 11 possessions in the Penn State game, whether we scored or got fouled. We hadn't done that either. So all of a sudden, you get in a game like that against a tough team, a team that everybody has respect for, our guys have respect for, and you find a way to accomplish 2 things that you hadn't done. So that you can't quantify that. But I mean, again, some of that carried over into tonight. And hopefully, we'll learn more from this and learn more in the next game and continue to have good practices and just continue to improve.
Okay, any more questions?
You talked about this a little bit with Yogi. Obviously, people have talked a lot about the young players learning things from these. But how big was it for him to maybe have those plays down the stretch, considering how much of a role you've put on him this year?
Well, it's
The three
big.
he made, the jumper, the free throws at the end.
It was big, and again, we made a run, we started making a run without him. And I think it's really important that everybody on the team understand that we have to play a certain way. And you have to take what the game is giving you. And some nights it's going to be balanced. I mean, Noah had 6 points at half. Great example. He had 12, right, the other day, right away. And everything was in the post. And then he hit a three. Well, he hits 2 threes tonight because he was in space. And yet, but we were getting to the rim. We had 14 layups. So we didn't establish the post game because we were driving to the rim. And we had the court spaced, and so we were doing good things. The game is always giving you something, no matter who you're playing. And you've got to stay diligent enough to figure that out. And don't get away from it until it's not working. And then hopefully you have enough other things that you can go to. And that's what Yogi's got to continue to grow into, and he is. There's no question about it. Like I said, concept-wise and then being game plan specific, without being specific, he did a fantastic job of that tonight. And he's really, really grown as a player and grown as a leader.
Can you see any parallels between the Penn State win and this win
I haven't
with
thought about that.
the NC State win and the Kentucky win a few years back?
Oh, man. No, man, I can't even think like that. It's so different. Now, this team, like I said at the beginning, the program's had great wins. This team needed this. This team needed Saturday, too. And the coaches that I heard from the last couple days, they knew how big a win that is because people know how tough Penn State is. They know how tough it is to go in there, and they know how tough it is to win when you're down 15. So that was huge. And then coming back and getting this was really good. And I